Okay, so today we're going to talk about TGIF. No, not that one. Rather, the turfgrass information file located at tic.msu.edu. Now, the turfgrass information file is an amazing repository of turfgrass-related information. It was founded some time ago at the Michigan State University Library with the help of funding from the U.S. Golf Association and the O.J. Noer Foundation. What it does is it catalogs turfgrass-related information around the world, from journals to magazines to popular press articles. And so it's a great place to begin looking for turfgrass-related information. So what we're going to do in class, after having watched this video, is we're going to actually conduct some turfgrass information file searches. So I want to familiarize yourself with the process and some of the different options that we have in order to conduct a search. So why search the literature? Well, one of the easy reasons is that you have a report to do, or a term paper, or a project to do. But when you get out into the professional world, especially if you end up in the turfgrass industry, having access to the turfgrass information file is a very powerful tool to develop your educational background, to learn more about your subject matter, to engage in professional and intellectual conversations with club managers and general managers, memberships, etc. Because information is power. And at the end of the day, if you have a lot of information about a particular topic, then you're able to make a sound decision about that. And that's way better than kind of using your gut or asking Bob down the street what he thinks you ought to do. It also allows you to support your position. There's a lot of times where the golf course superintendent or the turf manager at a sports field is put in the unenviable position of making a recommendation that makes the membership or the users of that facility unhappy. If you have great information to back up your position and to use as this is the reason why I've come to this decision, or this is why I think we ought to do X, Y, or Z, then you're going to be in a much better position to defend that position than you would if you were using your gut instinct or saying, well, I called Bob down the street and Bob said we ought to do X, Y, or Z. So the turfgrass information file has all the major sources of turfgrass-related information cataloged. And what's really nice is that over time, they're getting more and more full-text resources so that when you find a link, you can click on it and pull up that article. And that has some real power to it. Right now, I think they're just over half of the database, and it's a pretty extensive database, has been scanned and is full text. Again, the site is tic.msu.edu. So when we do this in the lab, in the classroom, we're going to conduct this search. But I'd like for you to do that after you get done watching this video, or as a part of watching this video. So if you go to tic.msu.edu and click Search TGIF, then click On Campus Authenticated. If you're off campus, what you'll need to do is go into the MSU library site and go through the proxy server that's on their main page, which will basically make you then on campus so that you can click On Campus Authenticated. You'll have to log in with your PID and password, and then it will appear to the database as if you're logging in from on campus. Once you've done that, you click On Campus Authenticated and then click I agree, or I think it's I agree to the terms and conditions, and that will take you into the main search page. So there's basically three options that you have when you get into that main search page. There's really more than that, but we're going to stick to these three. So there's the basic search, turf topics, and browsing full-text journals. And all three of them have some reasons to be used, so we're going to discuss those now. So the basic search has the tools that you would expect of most keyword searches. You can use Boolean logic, so that's words like and, or not. So I want to see all articles with bent grass and dollar spot, or I want to see all articles with bent grass but not Poa annua. So you can use Boolean logic. You can also use keywords, which is a lot like searching Google. You're all familiar with that. And it's pretty straightforward. And it produces a list of records that then allows you to go in and modify search terms and kind of hone in on the target articles that you're really interested in. So that's one of the things that we're going to spend some time doing, is some basic searches for information. The second one is the Turf Topics button. So if you click the Turf Topics, you get a list of lots of different topics, and then in parentheses how many articles are present in the turfgrass information file. That's great if you know that you have an area that you're looking in, a topic area, and it's a pretty common one. So for example, if you wanted to look at all the articles in the turfgrass information file that were looking at 2,4-D type herbicides, there's a turf topic in the Turf Topics link. You click the link, you get all the articles that are 2,4-D herbicides. So it's a way, if you have a very popular or common subject, of honing in very quickly to the articles that you're most interested in. Then the third one is browsing full text. Now, a lot of you can't comprehend how awesome this truly is, because you've grown up having full text access to lots of things. But what's really cool about what's on the turfgrass information file in the browse full text is there's a lot of old texts from the turn of the century, from the early 1900s, that allow you to pull up and have right on your screen a text from 1917. And what's amazing about that is just 10 or 12 years ago, in order to gain access, because of the rare nature of that piece and the fact that it would be in a fairly fragile condition, if you wanted to look at, say, Piper and Oakley's turf for golf courses, you would have to travel to Michigan State University, make an appointment with the turfgrass information file director, go in, sit down in a climate-controlled room in their archives, and you would be able to look at that book while somebody from the libraries with white gloves and acid-free materials would turn the pages for you as you wanted to look at it. You wouldn't be permitted to touch it. And now, with full text, you can pull that down to your computer, your iPad, your iPhone, your Android phone, whatever you want to use. You can pull it right down, read the book, look at it, and see all the things that Piper and Oakley were looking at in 1917, and understand that as we go through this course, one of the things you're going to come about over and over and over again is that things that seem like they're very different are actually very similar. There's lots of things that we're still dealing with today that folks in 1917 were dealing with. So the browse the full text is really good if you know the specific item you're looking for. You know you want to go look at Piper and Oakley's turf for golf courses, or you know you want to go look at O.J. Noer's slide collection. Then browsing the full text is the way to go. Turf Topics, if you know it's an area and you have a pretty good idea that area is a pretty common one, and then basic search for just about everything else. So those are the three methods that we're going to use to look for information in the turfgrass information file and go through how we conduct searches, because it's going to be important for you, not just in putting together some of the projects you're going to be doing in class, but also from a professional perspective when you're out on the job and have to call up information that's of import for a meeting or a discussion with a group of members or your management.